story starts with being a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse growing up all my life, and my dad was a doctor, my mom was a nurse, and that just seemed to be in the cards. I took a short veering to actually be a journalist for a while, but went back to nursing. And my nursing background, it's really pretty cool. I worked in the OR, I worked in the ER, I worked in the ICU. I hopped over to teaching for a while, peds, OB, geriatrics. Then I did some home health, and then I went back to teaching some more psych, and on the side, I did some hospice and air ambulance, and most people look at me and go, oh, she couldn't hold a job. But really, the thing about that was that with each job, I always loved it, but I loved learning. And once I felt like I mastered something, I wanted to move on to something else. And so it just seemed inevitable that I would go back to school eventually. Went back for my master's and just stumbled across one small paragraph in a journal about a nurse researcher. And she had researched humor among Native American Indians. And I was blown away that somebody could actually research humor. And the next thing I know, people heard about my research. They wanted me to share my findings. And so I remember my very first academic presentation, and I was so psyched, and I was all ready to delve into my research and tell them about the p-value of less than 0.05. And I discovered people thought I was funny. It's like, I don't know. So the requests just started to snowball, and to the point where I had to choose, am I going to spend the next year teaching or speaking? And having no idea about speaking or being in business for myself, I thought, well, yeah, I'll go do that for a year. And if it works, I'll keep doing it. If it doesn't, I'll go back. And that's been now almost 30 years ago. And this has taken me from groups smaller than 10 and larger than 10,000, from Burbank to Bangkok. And my first bit of studying was mostly about humor and health. But the more I delved into this, and oh my gosh, it just blew my socks off. When I saw what the benefits were, I knew this was going to become my life's work. And people from other kinds of groups started asking me to come share. And I discovered that what I had to teach had application much, much beyond healthcare. And then I started seeing the application to business. And over the last 10 years, I've become fascinated by humor and the brain. I live at that intersection. So I am a neurohumorist. And I know what you're thinking. Oh gosh, another neurohumorist. But I love living at the intersection of humor and the brain, because humor is this whole brain activity. And we now know that it positively affects every single body system. It has the power to heal. It has the power to connect. It has the power to influence, and it has the power to enlighten. And so I am giddy at the fact that this is my wheelhouse, that I know this better than anyone else, and that this is my calling to share with high performers and people around the planet the benefits for humor in both their personal and professional lives.